Oh, you got your new one.
No, I looked.
Oh, you found
I
it.
looked where the keys were today, and it was hanging there. And I'm like,
We are live streaming.
unless it's down under the.
Good.
Are you going to say something about the meeting we had, or?
Yes,
Okay.
so we do have a resolution too.
We got all Bologna's coming, and I think the Turks coming, so we're gonna give them some time in the beginning. We don't have to go into our public hearing until after 7:05.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody drove through
How do
the
you
fence
say-
over there in the park, I see.
Jazinski is
What?
last name.
Little park over here. Oh, yeah, in the parking lot.
What happened?
Somebody drove into the fence, the
Hey,
split rail fence.
CHLUD.
Broke the pole, split the, side of the fence.
spell, you got Patrick's spelling of his last name? Say that again.
Oh, that.
Oh, he,
Phonetics, I need phonetics on that one.
CHLUDZINSA.
That's like Miss Chaika. What? Chaika. Whatever he said.
Yeah.
I grew up with Chaika, so I knew what it was. Asian fingers with Doritos on them at the game. Where, yeah, I don't, it's where the seats are, but yeah, they're really good.
Good evening. Figured you would. I had a friend who sold it for 600.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board work session for 11/18/24. We do have one presenter tonight from Benderson's. So, sir, if you want to step up and tell us who you are and what we're talking about.
Good evening, Supervisor, members of the board. Matthew Oates with Benderson Development. Here tonight to present to the board a new redevelopment project that we have for the former Deep South Taco on Transit Road in front of the Regal Cinema. This is the property where the Deep South Taco is. We are proposing to redevelop it into a Chipotle restaurant and then have a second pad user. Right now, we do have a signed lease for a Chipotle. We do not have any signed lease for the second spot, so right now we're just going to propose to leave that as a future development pad. Our thought would be it would probably wind up being like a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot restaurant as well, similar in style to the Chipotle. The Chipotle does have a drive-through lane. It is not a typical drive-through lane. You can't actually place any orders in there. It's only if you've ordered ahead on the app you can drive through there and pick up without having to leave your car. So there's not a lot of stack. Usually at times we'll have like 2, maybe 3 cars. So it doesn't function like a typical drive-through does. It is just a pickup lane.
Where's the entrance coming in there?
The entrance for that will be here. Let me.
Over there. So it's not on Transit Road, so the traffic isn't going to be
Correct. Yes.
pushed into Transit Road.
We aren't proposing any new access onto Transit Road. We're maintaining the existing access point that is across from the drive lane in front of the Hobby Lobby parking lot. We are proposing to add a second access point off the back internal drive lane to provide good circulation into here, and then also for this building in the parking, so we don't have to drive past it. We do also pick up some additional green space as well. Right now, it's a really large paved parking lot. We have additional green space we picked up in the corner, and then we also have additional green space around the building as well. And then there will also be a proposed patio as well at the front side of the building, sidewalk around, and then the back house, the dumpsters will be tucked in behind the building as well to screen them as much as possible.
Okay, were you talking about putting another entrance on Transit Road?
Not on transit, so this is
Just back in there again by the...
in the back,
by
yes,
the
just,
okay.
just off of the back Plaza Drive to provide a little better access for the Chipotle as well. Overall, what we're excited for, we think it's a good redevelopment of an existing vacant building on Transit Road that, excited to get that back and developed.
Any questions?
I do have a question. Is there something currently in the future development section?
So this is where the Deep South Taco building kind of sits over here. So their building is more down here with their parking field there. So we'll demolish the Deep South building.
Thank you.
We'll build the whole site, and then the plan would be to leave that fenced off unless we get interest once we start building. A lot of times we'll find
Okay.
interest picks up there. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
But if we don't get interest, our thought would be we'd leave that as a grass pad with just like the split rail wood fence around it to make it look nice.
I'm excited for the drive.
Sounds like a pretty good idea to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful Thanksgiving, by the way.
Thank
The
you.
only thing I could recommend, Matt, is before you do your formal submittals, to have a sit-down with myself, just to make sure that we've got all the particulars in order, so that we're not receiving either an incomplete or an inaccurate application.
Yes, I'll reach out to you directly. We can set up.
Outstanding.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go around the room, unless the board needs anything they want brought up right at this moment. Okay, no? Okay. Go around the room to the department heads, give them an opportunity to tell us what's going on in the different departments. Why don't we start right up here in the front? Ed Schiller.
Let me see, of all the projects, everything ongoing, I met last week with the electrician out at Walden Pond for the turf field. I'll be meeting with him again this week, looking at, figuring out what's there. One of the leagues got us what they require for power, and then we're trying to determine if there's enough power in that building or more's got to be brought in, so I'll hopefully figure that out this week. What else I got on here? The Erie Street water line is ongoing. They're making good headway. They're probably over half done, I think, with the water line. The final paving won't be done till spring just because of the weather, but they'll have it all. They'll have the water line in and patched and the trench filled and hot mix, so that'll be in good shape. That's all I got from nothing else. Everything else is just kind of ongoing. If anybody has any questions on any projects.
Not at this point. Nope. Okay. Matt?
Yes, I've come off a 2-day sprinkler training, so it was a dry seminar, but it was good training. It was excellent in preparation. If the state is to adopt residential sprinklers in new construction for the 2025 code adoption. I was also able to this morning finally submit the October stormwater report, so if there's any questions or concerns on that, I'm happy to have that discussion. I already spoke to John regarding one of the drain inlets that needed a little bit of extra maintenance. That should resolve any drainage issues the community is having with the Rue Madeline Pond. So I was very pleased to see what the topography provided. And then this coming Thursday, I am in another training seminar for floodplain administration. I'm anticipating another community assistance visit from the DEC. And this hour and a half, 2-hour training specifically dials in on what we can expect on a CAV. I've already had 2 of them in my career here. I don't like them. I like to be prepared ahead of time for them. And then I don't want to steal your thunder regarding any noise studies, but
That's fine.
you know, it's Thursday night. It was after a day of sprinklers. You know, we did meet with the attorney and a sound engineer, Mark and Melissa and Ed, regarding the sound study that was done at the Speedway during the events, during the non-event times. And it was pretty obvious what the results were during their activities. Yeah, it was noisy, but it was well within the defined hours of operation. And we should expect to receive that report to the clerk's office if she hasn't already received it. But I would anticipate it at some point this week to receive that and then, incorporate that with special use.
Okay, so there was a decibel level that was reached, and we're going to have all that information to look at.
Yeah, we'll be able to see that. But, the purpose of filing that information is to have that available for if and when a site plan amendment comes from that property for any future additions, adjustments, expansions, that the board now is able to, with clarity, understand what they can ask for sound remediation.
Okay. Thank you. John? Evening.
So, I'm sure you're aware, the highway departments, we're continuing with our leaf and brush pickups throughout the town. We're still sending out 4 leafers and a grappler on a daily basis. Last week, we assisted Bruce in the Parks and Rec Department, taking down the playground at Westwood. I'm going to be sending a loader and an operator on Wednesday and Thursday to the park to help Bruce's crew take down the larger section this week. I'd like to thank the board for their consideration of the resolution that we put up to send Deputy Highway Superintendent Michelle Barbaro to the Association of Towns training. Administratively, Michelle has processed over $2 million worth of FEMA funds for the town, and I truly believe this is a good opportunity for her. I'd like to ask the board for their assistance in helping the Blue Collar Union with paying out one of their members through the sick bank. I know that it's run into some roadblocks, but it would go a long way with the union if we could figure something out moving forward with that. And lastly, I'm proud to announce our annual Name the Plow Truck contest with the students at William Street School came to an end today. We received dozens of excellent posters, and we will be picking winners this Friday. The winning students will get a ride to school in a plow truck and their logo placed on one of the trucks. If any board member wants to hop in on the choosing of the winners, we're doing it on Friday, so let me know. Feel free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bruce?
Hello. Good evening, Honorable Town Board. Bruce Tuss, Lancaster Parks Recreation. As John mentioned, last week went really well with the small playground. Pretty much with Highways Assistant and our crew did an excellent job with the town of Concord. We came in a little under about 4 hours to take down that small play set, which was...
And they were very, very pleased. They're happy to get the equipment. It's going to make a big difference for their towns. So
Okay.
They're very happy.
Great job for the board coordinating all that. It worked out well. So we were looking at the large playground. We started that today. So I would say, if we're talking percentages, probably about 60% done. The highway's been great with the loader pulling out the big stuff, but our guys working with the company that purchased it. So it sounds like it's going to be going in a campground. So it's another really good repurposing of the equipment. So
Great.
I appreciate the board's support for all that too. That's going really well. Also, when looking for board support, we sent an email regarding the basketball program. So anything we can do to get that going this weekend on Saturday would be much appreciated. And then we're following the steps and trying to get everything going. So get the kids playing basketball. Wrestling, we're still doing the background checks and everything else. So we're looking at 11/26 for that.
Okay.
And then volleyball is on 12/11. So the new procedures, I think we're learning internally as far as filtering everything up. And I think you're seeing probably kind of what we're looking for going forward.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. It's good to get them down there. Everybody's bringing their driver's license. We're getting the backgrounds done very quickly, which is good. And tonight we are going to have the suspended resolution for 8 of the people
That's awesome.
for
Appreciate
the
it.
basketball
That's great.
program.
Great news.
There's 2 more that we haven't seen. Well, we got an application from one, but the other one we haven't seen.
Okay.
And neither one has had their background done yet. So
Okay.
as soon as they come in, we'll get that done.
Thank you. That's very much appreciated. We're in the process of winterizing our parks, Westwood, Walden Pond, getting ready, Salters, getting some plows, think about getting the plows. I know there's some forecasts coming soon, so usually when we get through these projects and then get through the forestry project, we're looking to finish our tree planting hopefully tomorrow, maybe Wednesday at the worst. So coming in right around 2 weeks for about 100 trees. So that went well. And once that concludes, we'll be sending out a consistent pruning crew, probably 6 to 7 people, consistently pruning streets in advance of paving for next year, and also, the special request for pruning and other tree works over this time of year. So, any questions or?
Nope.
Appreciate it. Thank you
very much.
Yep.
Ron Rosler?
Good evening. A couple things to thank Bruce. He allowed Emergency Management Office to borrow a trailer to move the Emergency Management UTV around for some maintenance and to pick it up and that. So I just want to thank him for his cooperation and working together on that. I believe Matt was having an issue with getting a response from a fire chief on a project. So he called me, I reached out. I think we were able to get that done, taken care of pretty quickly, right?
It arrived immediately. Thank you.
Sent back. So, and then the big thing.
If I could interrupt you, we want to make you part of that process, coordinating that with the fire departments to make sure we get responses, so.
Yeah, during all site plan reviews?
Yep.
Yeah, the next fire chiefs meeting coming up, I'll have a discussion with them on the importance of them.
Okay.
I'll be honest, in the past, a lot of what they submitted was never considered or never really looked at, or they were just never told that, it was received and got anything back. So I think they'll be happy with the fact that they're looking for their input now. It's not just a formality that they were sent,
we appreciate
sent a
it.
package and didn't get anything back.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We understand what they're saying is very important.
Right. So
Buildings, so.
yeah, so the next fire chiefs meeting, I'll have a discussion with all of them and explain to them their importance. And then the obvious pre-hospital care ambulance RFP. We received 2 proposals back. We're in the process of reviewing them. We have meetings set up this week between myself, the town attorney, and the 2 proposals to go over questions that the town has and to just verify some information to make sure we understand it the right way that they submitted it, and again, some questions we had about what they submitted. So I would hope within the next week or 2 to come back to the board with a proposal on what I think will be the best way to move forward with this.
Will the board receive information from the RFP process before
Yeah.
the decision?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we were waiting for the meetings just so we can verify information. So if you call me with questions, I can at least have an answer for you.
Yeah, so everybody will get a copy of what comes back, but we'd like to answer the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing we were waiting
But if
on.
you want to see it tomorrow or something, let me know. I can send it to you if you have your own questions.
And are there any questions on that from any board member that I can answer tonight? Okay.
Who are the 2?
LVAC is one, and Erie County EMS was the other. We were disappointed with just the 2. We thought there'd be at least one other one. But once the process is done, I'll reach out to the other ones and have a meeting with them just to find out, did they not intend to, or were there, issues that, what was the reason that they didn't submit a proposal?
Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah. So it's been a process, been a learning process for me. So one that I wish I didn't have to go through, but I think it's going to work out. Both proposals are good in that, and I think once we get our questions answered, I think they'll be even better. All right? Good.
Thank you very
If you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very much.
Nick?
Good evening. Nick Swanson, Director of Administration and Finance. Wanted to provide a status update. It's the second town board meeting of the month. The goal is to have the books closed by the second town board meeting of the month for the prior month. So the report for the month of October, the town collected revenues of $724,202 and had expenses of $2.5,016,837, resulting in a deficit of $1.7 million roughly. But for the full year through October, the town has collected revenues of $36 million roughly and has had expenses of almost $32 million, resulting in a year-to-date surplus of around $4 million. I think we're in a good spot for the last 2 months of the year. We have 3 more payrolls to get through. Shouldn't be a problem. I think the town will, be very close to breaking even when it's all said and done, which is great because the 2024 budget had a deficit of around $4 million. So I think it's a good step in the right direction. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Nick.
Chief Gilmo? Evening.
So I see 2 resolutions tonight. I want to thank everybody for. Resolution number 9 for the Stony Brook Lights, no parking. I think that is a good idea for the board to get ahead of this year and not wait like we did last year, in working with John, talking with him about his thoughts, and I think it's a great idea. I think Councilman Schroeder.
The Board of
Did you-
Stony Legendary Lights
Yep.
does appreciate the proactive approach.
Did you happen to go through the development?
I
Or
did.
you did? So everything seems to be appropriate where everything's going to be placed for the no parking, so great. The other one is delaying the winter parking ban. I think that's in the best interest of the public, especially with the Thanksgiving holiday. If we put that off and allow people to have some additional parking in the streets overnight with people coming in and the weather not looking like it's going to be all that bad over the next 10, 15 days. So I appreciate the consideration for those.
Sure.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That's it, right?
Well, for lack of, I guess I'll tag on to Chiefs because sometimes he gives us a DCO report, so I'll kind of tag on with DCO information. Ed and I met with the grant writers this week to discuss the grant for the new DCO addition, which will assist the town of Lancaster in accommodating, I would say, quarantine dogs. So when they receive a dog in and it doesn't have a rabies tag or they don't know if it's got its rabies shots, by law it must be quarantined away from the healthy dogs until they can find out if there's rabies information, or they can get the dog to a vet and to get its shots, and then the dog can be melded back into the healthy dog situation. So this addition is really going to help the DCO to accommodate, influx of dogs that they're not sure what, whether they have their shots or whether, they have been wormed or whatever. So then the healthy dogs that are there. So we met with the grant writers, looking at an addition to the building for some kennels, and then an outside run area also, because they need to be segregated outside. So Ed's going to be formulating some plans for us. Thank you, Ed. And that grant is due December 20th. And we have that resolution on tonight to approve the grant writers to write the grant.
Okay. And we're going to be looking for letters from all the town board members like usual
Yes,
for that.
please.
And
All their
other elected officials.
Yes.
Anybody else? Anything else? All right, let's go through the resolutions. Okay, resolution number 1 is mine from the minutes of the regular meeting held on November the 4th. Number 2 is mine, approve the audited claims. Councilmember Dickman.
Just the issuance of the building permits.
Okay, Councilmember Schroeder, number 4.
That would be a budget modification for 2025.
Okay. Resolution number 5, set the public hearing, special use permit for Eric Tomaine Frontier Properties located on Gunville Road. Number 6, authorize supervisor execute an encroachment agreement, National Fuel Gas Supply Corporation, regarding the Brickyard Ball Field right-of-way. Number 7, set public hearing regarding special use permit, 6699 Transit Road LLC. Number 8, appoint Diane Terranova, Minority Business Officer. Number 9, Councilmember Schroeder.
This is for temporary no parking signs for the Stony Brook Legendary Lights event, and I'd like to add that Melissa and John Pilato very kindly went out to check out the locations of the fire hydrants and measure the fire hydrants and so forth, and I very much appreciate their help in going out to do that.
Okay, number 10, authorize change order number 1 to DGM Contracting Incorporated for the TLN 12 water main replacement, Mill and Asphalt, Bowen and Siebert Road. Number 11, Councilmember Burkhardt.
Authorize Michelle Barbaro to attend AOT in New York in 2025.
Okay. Number 12, award bid for prefabricated half-through truss pedestrian bridge to Contact Engineered Solutions, LLC. Number 13, extend application approvals and construction of commercial residential development moratorium 3 months. We got to get some more work done. The paperwork part of it needs to be completed. That's on the recommendation of our attorney. Number 14, authorize J. O'Connell and Associates to complete application forms, etc., regarding New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, Burns State Crisis Intervention Program. Number 15, Councilmember Schroeder.
This is to approve you to execute an agreement between Erie County Department of Social Services and the Youth Bureau for our youth program.
Okay, number 16 is authorize J. O'Connell and Associates to complete application forms, etc., regarding the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets Companion Animals Capital Projects Grant, which Councilmember Schroeder just covered. Number 17, approve site plan 3979 Walden Avenue. Councilmember Studley. Number 18, please.
This is to authorize a transfer in the 2024 budget for highway.
Okay. Councilmember Burkhardt. Number 19, please.
Authorize 2025 budget supervisor.
Okay. Number 20, Councilmember Studley.
This is the delay of winter parking ban until December 1st.
Okay. 21, again, is mine. Invite quotes, construction, prefabricated, half-through truss pedestrian bridge. 22 is going to be adopting the 2025 special districts budget, and 23 is adopt the 2025 ad valorem budget. Okay.
And one
Suspended.
And one suspended resolution. We got to get some people ready to take care of the basketball program. So we got one suspended resolution to do some hiring for the basketball program. So those are the resolutions for this evening. We are going to have some special visitors here. We have our new state assembly person, Patrick, is going to be able to come up here. We're going to get you up here at this. We're going to get you up here at the start of the meeting itself. Sounds good. And we appreciate any words that you can tell to our residents in the town of Lancaster, what you're going to have coming, and obviously we're here to congratulate you on that. And I think also Paul Bologna is also going to be here. We have 2 new assemblymen for the town of Lancaster, and give both of you guys some time to say hi to the residents of the town of Lancaster. Our stuff is live streamed. I know we don't have a lot of people here, but you'll be able to talk to somebody, okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, you guys want to take a break till?
Yes.
Okay.
When you go through the places.
What's that? No, I'm going to be using it.
Okay.
Chipotle's okay. I'd like to see, I'm surprised the Applebee's closed down there. It's good we got one of those, something at least decent quality.
Oh, that's why. The internet. I don't know what happens with these things. They want you to do everything online. They want you to get remote access and all this stuff. And the internet. Well, yeah, I just connected. I just reconnected, so it's going to reboot everything. Hopefully all the permissions are still there. There you go.
Hey, board members, we're going to get started in a minute.
Two pants.
It was so nice of your mother to bring you over.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the November 18, 2024 Town Board meeting here in Lancaster. Diane, roll call, please.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Here.
Councilmember Dickman?
Here.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Here.
Councilmember Studley? Here. Supervisor Leary?
Here. Tonight, the pledge is going to be done by Councilmember Dickman and the invocation. Please stand.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
Dear Lord, give the council members wisdom and guidance as they deliberate on the items before them. May every decision be righteous in your sight for our benefit, for your glory. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, tonight we're going to have 23 pre-filed resolutions. We do have one suspended resolution, and we will have one public hearing. We are going to close in memory tonight of Dennis Fitzsimmons, Stephen Riddin, and Joseph R. August. Okay. We are lucky tonight that we have at least one and maybe two of our newly elected assemblymen, people from the state of New York. So Patrick, you want to come up here, and if you could say a few words to the board and to the residents. We're very happy that Patrick was elected. We've done a lot of work with him already. Comes from a great background, served in the military, and also a police officer. Very happy to have you working here in the town of Lancaster. And if you could kind of also tell us what area of Lancaster you're going to be dealing with as well.
So, of course, I was elected to the 143rd Assembly District, which covers the western portion of Lancaster, including the village of Lancaster. The boundary lines are a little bit skewed through this section of the town, representing Cheektowaga, part of the city of Buffalo, and Depew and the village of Sloan. But I'd like to thank you for inviting me tonight to just say a couple words. I'd like to thank the town board for having me here. I'm truly honored to be your next assembly member for at least part of the town of Lancaster. I look forward to working with everyone on the town board here and bring our voices to Albany and address our concerns that are directly impacting our community here in Albany and work with the local government here to move forward with those issues that are primarily, in my opinion, our main issues: infrastructure improvements, public safety, economic development, affordability, and education support. I want to keep an open line of communication with this town board. I know most of you have my phone number. I think communication is key, that we can meet and talk regularly, and whatever issues that you have that can be brought to Albany through me and we can address there. I think we can work together to move this community forward and bring a more prosperous Lancaster and 143rd District and Cheektowaga and get us moving into the future. So I just thank you for having me. I know there will be challenges in Albany, but we expect to work through those, and I think we'll have a more prosperous future for our district here. So thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're also lucky enough to have Paul Bologna, who's also just got elected. He'll be handling the other section of Lancaster. So come up, Paul, come on up, and if you could say a few words to the board and to the residents of the town of Lancaster.
Oh, thank you very much, Supervisor. Thank you to the board for allowing me to be here today. My name is Paul Bologna. I'll be taking over for State Assemblyman Mike Norris in the 144th District. I represent the eastern, all right? Yeah, the eastern portion of Lancaster, basically, like the more rural portion. This is actually a surreal moment for me. Both my parents grew up in Lancaster. In 1956, my grandparents immigrated from Italy. They moved on Morano Drive. My dad and all my cousins grew up on Morano Drive. My mom grew up on Banco Drive. So Lancaster I'm very familiar with Lancaster. I grew up here. I was babysat here all through a kid. So even though I live in Clarence, I'm very familiar with Lancaster. I cannot tell you how many Lancaster Depew football games I've been to and sat on the Lancaster side, so it's always very important. You know, it's funny, now that the campaigning is over, the real work really does begin. And I've heard a lot of stuff on the campaign trail about, specifically, Pat and myself have been the minority party in Albany. And, that's a fair criticism of our candidacy, but I really think it has less to do with who's in the minority and who's in the majority, and who's an effective legislator for their district, who can go to Albany, navigate and pull the levers of government to make sure that, when there's a road project, whether it's something on Broadway, that DOT is there making sure that it's fixed. That we have an understanding of the state agencies, that when a business calls, maybe it's a restaurant, and there is a problem with their liquor license. They can't get through to anyone at the SLA. Well, we have contacts there. We're able to drive that home, make sure that business gets their liquor license the next day. Those are the things that I see as really being the most important parts of what we do, is actually helping the people on the ground, helping small businesses, helping communities, helping local governments, and working hand in hand. So, I just want to echo what Pat said. If you don't have my cell phone number, I want to give it to you. I'm not going to make it public, but I want to give it to you guys. Hey, I got 2 little kids. I mean, I can't be making calls at 11:30 at night. But it's really important for me. I do have a lot of experience doing this. I've been working in the state assembly for almost 15 years now. So I have a lot of experience working with local governments, working with county governments, making sure that we're all on the same page and getting those mutual projects taken care of and funded. So that is how I really plan to be an effective legislator. Obviously, I want to, make good on the promises that I made and advocate for Western New York specifically. But really, I want to be an effective legislator in terms of delivering for the local governments, whether it be the counties or the towns that I represent. And like Pat said, I want to make sure that there's an open line of communication. So I've worked with many of you, already in the capacity for Mike Norris, but I look forward to doing that in this role as well. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I look forward to working with you all.
Same from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, great for those guys to be here. We definitely look forward. As soon as you guys get your assistants in place, let us know who they are, and if you want to come to our town board meetings, we are more than welcome to have your assistant or yourselves at those meetings. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get, since it's after 7:05 p.m., we're going to have our special use permit for Euro Charge New York 515 Pavement Road Building public hearing. Can I have a motion to go into a public hearing?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, I'm going to read the legal for this one. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to the authority set forth in Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14 administration and enforcement, Section 400-78 special use permits of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster on the 4th day of November 2024, the said Town Board will hold a public hearing on the 18th day of November 2024, which is today, at 7:05 p.m. local time at the Town Hall, located where you are right now, 21 Central Avenue, for the purpose of considering and possibly approving a special use permit application for a garage shop space commercial use located at 1515 Pavement Road, Building Number 1, Suite 12 through 14, SBL number 94.00-3-15.22. Copies of the proposed application can be reviewed at the Town Hall. So at this point in time, does anybody want to speak on this particular public hearing? Please raise your hand, get the attention of the supervisor, and we'll allow you to come up and say a few words. Does anyone want to be heard on this public hearing? Okay, I don't see any hands raised at this point in time. Anything from the town board on this one at this point? No. Okay, all right, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close.
Second?
Second.
And on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, we're going to move on to, at this point in time, persons wishing to address the town board on pre-filed or suspended resolutions only. The town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any pre-filed or proposed suspended resolutions for a total period of 30 minutes. Procedures, please raise your hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided, and speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Do we have anybody who wants to address the town board on any of the pre-filed resolutions or the suspended resolutions? Yes, sir?
Thank you, Supervisor Leary. I will be talking on resolution number 19. Town of Lancaster 2025 tentative budget resolution for adoption at $33,543,509. With the tentative budget for 2025, there will be salary increases from 10 to 12% and 3% in town departments. And with 5 wage adjustments made to the tentative budget, 4 were increases in the assistant to the supervisor position was decreased. Any rational person surely can see that this assistant to the supervisor was singled out. Why is this assistant to the supervisor being punished? Is this infliction or punitive actions, retribution? And if any town council member votes yes to Councilmember Burkhart's number 19 resolution on 18th November 2024 and it is passed, I'm hoping the assistant to the supervisor comes to work and with Supervisor Leary files a pay discrimination and pay equity under disparate treatment under U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, section number 10, compensation discrimination 10-1113. I must add, Councilmember Burkhart, since you are a lieutenant colonel in the military and you would acknowledge a wage decrease in the military could be used as punishment. Councilmember Studley, we talked last town board meeting. and we had a wonderful talk, and we were saying, and you were saying to me how I never talk anything positive. Here's your moment. If you vote no, to me it's morally right. If you vote yes, I really believe it's morally wrong. Here's your moment, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to be heard on any of the pre-filed resolutions or the suspended resolution? Okay. All right, what I'm going to do at this point, since he brought up the subject, I was going to wait till the resolution, but I want the board and the residents to understand exactly where the increase is coming from. So I got a little PowerPoint that we're going to show you. Okay. And I also want to explain to the public exactly what is going on with the budget. There's a lot of misinformation on there. If I can get, oh, here we go. It's been a while since I used PowerPoint. Okay, what I'm going to talk about is the assistant to the supervisor, the salary from 2019 to 2025. Okay? There's been some changes, and I just want to show everybody what it was. All right, and this first thing here, we got 2019. Now, when we do a budget every year, it's a budget where you come up with a certain number that's going to be utilized during that year for a person. Now, in some instances, for a job, they start at 85% of the full salary, and that's pretty confusing when you look at it. So we look at, to get a real idea of what's going on, we have the budget for the salary, and we also look at the reorg. So when somebody is actually hired, it lists the salaries of that particular person. So in 2019, the budget was $60,021 for the assistant to the supervisor.